Welcome back. So this is going to be the starting video for Lab 3. Lab 3 is a little bit involved. I posted a zip file with the starter project, the archive starter project for Lab 3. Let me show you how to import that. I'm looking at Eclipse. I just started Eclipse. I've got nothing open, no packages. In the Java perspective, I'm going to do File Import. And I'm going to import using the under general existing projects in the workspace. I'm going to first select the root directory, uncheck this copy projects in the workspace, select the archive file, and select the file that I posted in Sakai. That's pretty much it. Click finish. If you get an error and this finish isn't lit or isn't enabled, it's because this copy projects in the workspace is checked. I know it doesn't make any sense, but select this radio button, uncheck it, and then select this radio button and browse that file and import it. Okay, click finish. And you can see that I have a package out there now called, a project called Lab3 Starter. I've got a source directory. I've got my JRE and JUnit 4 referenced. And under that I have a few different classes: account, conga line, dancer, prime numbers, and then 3 test classes: test account interest, test conga line, and test prime numbers. So this sort of introduces test-driven development. It's a new concept for this class. What it is if I'm going to build methods, or if I'm going to build classes, instead of starting with the classes, if I started with the test conditions first, and then satisfied all my test conditions, by the time I'm done crafting the methods to solve for the test conditions, the methods will be complete. Let's see if that makes any sense. Under test count interest, I've got one test method out of here called test get days to financial goal. And what that's going to do is it's going to call the assert equals 3 times to see if the assert equals for method get days to financial goal in the account class makes sense for these parameters. Well, get this. If you make it work for all 3 of these kind of parameters, the number of days is 0, number of days is 356, the number of days is 5061. If you make it work for all 3 of these, this method will be completely done. Right? So it's a different way of coding. So instead of coming up with the methods and then dreaming up the test conditions later, if I give you the test conditions first, that would require you to build the methods to satisfy those test conditions, and then the code is complete. So what I want you to do is make the changes that are required for these 4 classes: account, conga line, dancer, and prime numbers, that will satisfy the conditions that are already set in test account interest, test conga line, and test prime numbers. So let's take a look at test conga line real quick. I've got a few different things in here. I've got test insert at front, test insert at end, test remove from front, remove from end. 4 different methods that I have to test. And you notice I say conga line, line 1 equals new conga line 1 dot insert at front. I'm getting an error here. It says this method is undefined, it doesn't exist. Well, I bet you if I go out to conga line, there's no method in there yet called insert at front. I'm in conga line and I don't see insert at front. So you have to build that method. What conga line does, it's in the lab. Like what it's supposed to do, it looks like it's supposed to have it's supposed to be an array, basically, so you can move a member of an array in front and in back. It's completely spelled out in the lab, but the point is, in that test conga line, these methods do not exist yet. You will be building these methods: remove from front, insert at end, remove from front, and we'll be testing these methods with these 4 different test methods. Same thing with prime numbers. Prime numbers has 3 different test methods. I've got generate sequence 2 to n. I've got filter out divisible by, and I've got find all primes 2 to n. I'm passing in an array of integers in this one. I'm passing in that array. See, new integer from that to that. I'm passing in an array. I'm supposed to see if the array of the assert equals from that list equals prime to number 2 to 100. So, long story short, if I get these three methods, these three tests to work, then everything that I need for prime numbers has been created. Excellent. So, I'm going to post this Lab 3. We'll go over it in class a little bit, but I'm going to post this video along with the archive file for Lab 3 and the Lab 3 instructions in Sakai, and that we'll talk about the due date. It's probably going to be due after 2 labs. It's going to take 2 labs to complete this. Great. Thank you very much.